Where is Bo? We have a show to do, and I don't know where he is. It is our Halloween show. It looks amazing down here in Pinpoint. Bo, where are you, man? We have a show. It's like starting now. We need you. Bo, are you, wow, are you here? Bo! Bo!
What's up, dude?
My kid. What's up, man? We're doing a show, like, right now.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here getting ready. It's Halloween. Got a lot of stuff to do.
Obviously, you're enjoying your cake. Hey, why don't we just do the show from here? It looks great.
That's a good idea.
Like the moves that you're doing on purpose, sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you, pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Welcome, folks. Later with Jason Suel, coming to you with a very special Halloween-themed episode from Pinpoint in Fayetteville, Bo's Bar. Of course, Bo's joining us from behind the bar. Hey, Bo.
Hey, what's going on?
Dude, this place is amazing. It looks phenomenal in here. I know that all month long you've been doing kind of this Halloween-themed pop-up bar. And, you know, obviously this is October 31st. We're at the end of that. But tell us about it. Tell us what you've done.
Yeah, so, you know, everything's socially distanced this year. It's been kind of hard to do traditional hospitality bar restaurant work. So my legendary Halloween party, which would normally pack 500-600 people, we can't do that. So I thought, let's not deprive the people of Halloween and let's do it all month long so everybody can come in a little bit. So we created Nightmare on Block Street, and we've been in here doing Halloween all month. It's been incredible.
I know I had the chance to come here and do, like, we got some Halloween-themed cocktails, which I think we're going to talk about with you a little bit later in the show as well.
I get to be the food segment for once.
I know, you're here to be the food segment. It's awesome. Bo, so I know that you are a big, like, Halloween fan. Why is Halloween, like, your favorite?
Well, I mean, truth be told, it was one of those holidays that didn't have all those like family restrictions on it, you know, where you're like, oh, I gotta go see the aunties and the uncles and all that kind of stuff. And it was when me and my mom really got to bond over like making costumes and decorating the house. And I remember the first time we ever scared a trick-or-treater, I was just a kid, but I was hooked. And so we just started decorating. We were home haunters. And then when I got older, I started doing like haunted houses for charities. And then as I got older, I started doing big Halloween dance parties. And now that I own a bar, I'm doing Halloween bars. I just can't get it out of my system.
No, I love it. How many of these decorations that we have in here have you like accumulated over the years? Is this all stuff, or did you buy this all new?
Oh, no. I mean, probably you're looking at a wasted $35,000, $40,000 over the course of my entire life in Halloween decorations. But yeah, I've been collecting since I was a kid. I mean, you know, this guy right over here, he's probably at least 20 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm so glad that you're kind of opening the doors to the public, and obviously socially distant, but able to come down here and experience a little piece of your childhood and a little piece of what you're so interested in. And the bar looks great. I'm excited to do a whole episode from here. And here's what we got coming up on the show today, folks. Cassie Self joining us on the show. Now, Cassie has been in a lot of movies in Northwest Arkansas and regionally and all around the world, and she has particularly been in some horror films. So we're going to have a chance to sit down and chat with her about all she has going on in her, acting career. And then our musical guest, we've got Sarah Lothan and Patty Steele joining us, and I do have to give a shout out to City Sessions for providing and curating this music video for us. And we couldn't let this one go because Patty is wearing cat ears in this music video, so it kind of all falls into the theme of Halloween for us. And right now, I had the chance to get out to Eureka Springs and go biking. They've got a lot of great biking trails over there in Eureka Springs with Bike Eureka, so you got to check that out. It's happening later. Hey everybody, Jason Suel here, Bike Eureka. We're joined by Justin Huss from the Eureka Springs Parks and Rec. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, so we have been out on the trails and done a lot of fun stuff out there, but now we're in town. Talk to us about how we can bike right here in downtown Eureka Springs.
Eureka's really well suited up for biking, walking all throughout town. When our town was originally laid out, it was set up for pedestrian use, horse use, late 1800s. So we have a ton of alleyways, existing trails, roads are friendly, low speed limits on a lot of those. So a lot of opportunities to get around town. Our trolleys all have bike racks on them.
That's great, yeah.
Which is great. So it's a great way to see the town. When you come through Eureka, you want to take it slow, you want to walk or bike, so you can see all the little nuances, the walls that are built, the stonework, the springs all around. So it's a real opportunity to get familiar with the town.
It's a fun way to see the town, right? And you can stop and pull off and check out all the history that exists here in Eureka Springs. You know, I love you can come to Eureka Springs and you can be outdoors enjoying the Ozarks, or you could be in town and also you can experience it in a new way, all from the seat of your bicycle. It's very cool.
Absolutely. And we have, with the explosion of biking in our area, so many of our local merchants and restaurants really encourage the biking community to come out. A lot of them have specials through there. And like I said, it's a good chance to take a little break. You pop into an air-conditioned store, you see something unique. To your point, it's just a wonderful way to see the town. It really is. It lets you slow down a little bit, lets you pop off. You don't have to worry about parking, all those things. So really a great way to go, and something the whole family can do too.
Something the whole family can do, all skill levels, at least right here in town. So, hey, thanks for taking the time to visit with me today, and I really want to hit these streets and go riding. So
absolutely, let's check it out.
Let's do it.
All right.
We've had so much fun in Eureka Springs. I've learned that you can do so many things right here in downtown Eureka Springs. You can shop, you can walk, and you can bike Eureka. Let's ride.
Sam's Furniture doing good. Shine a spotlight on your neighborhood.
Well, we're relaxing here at Sam's Furniture, and we've got Brandon Swoboda, Habitat for Humanity, Washington County, joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tell me about the work that the Washington County Habitat for Humanity does.
Yeah, so we're focused on helping low-income families achieve home ownership. And the way that they do that is they come to us as a partner family. They put in 300 hours of sweat equity. We find volunteers like you, sponsors come alongside. We build the house together. They buy the house from Habitat at a 0% interest loan and become homeowners.
Wow, that's such an amazing thing. You know,
It really
you hear
is.
about Habitat for Humanity all the time, but to hear that it's happening right here in
right
Northwest
here in
Arkansas, Washington County.
That's right.
great.
Yeah, that's right.
If people are watching, they want to get involved, maybe they want to contribute some hours, maybe they want to volunteer. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so they can find us on the web, Habitat for Humanity, Washington County, or you can find us on Facebook as well and help these low-income families get into home ownership. It's pretty awesome.
It's so important. Brandon,
Yeah.
thank you for taking the time.
I wonder if Sam's would take sweat equity for this table.
Welcome back, everybody. Later with Jason Suel. So glad that you are tuned into this very special Halloween episode. We got a lot happening here at Pinpoint in downtown Fayetteville, including welcoming in our guest on the show today, Cassie Haley Self. Which one should we call you, Cassie? What are you going by these days?
Cassie Self has been my acting name. I just made my name back to Cassie Haley this year, so it's confusing.
Yeah, it seems like every time I meet you, you've got a new piece of your name. It's just you're adding on every time.
Can you fill us in on how did you know you wanted to work in film?
I didn't.
Perfect.
That's how all the success stories work. Yeah.
There wasn't really film happening here in Northwest Arkansas, so I was directing and writing and teaching and acting some in theater. That was my degree, but then I got to do my first movie about 15 years ago. Walked on set, and I had never been exposed to a movie set before. So watching all the people do all the different jobs was so like deer in headlights, but it was such a collaborative, beautiful experience that after that, that's all I wanted to do.
Did some like quick talking, like wise guy producer come on? Hey kid, you're gonna be a star. Come over here, get on set, and you're like, oh, okay, and yeah, that's how all Hollywood starts in my brain.
That's how we all, think of it. But not having been in the Hollywood scene or out in LA, definitely had a different experience here.
So talk to us about that first film. You said it was 15 years ago. What was that movie?
That movie was called Resurrection County, and it was shot primarily in Fort Smith and Devil's Den and areas around Northwest Arkansas. And It was, guys, it was a scary movie.
Well, that's perfect because, I mean, we're doing our Halloween episode, so it was a scary movie. Tell us a little bit about your character in that film.
My character, so there was a group of 4 of us that decided to take a trip to the woods and do some camping and some ATVing.
Always a bad idea in horror movies. Always.
So as you know, in the backwoods of Arkansas, terrible things went awry, and I can leave it at that. No spoilers.
Let's bring this full circle because you worked on the film Resurrection County, and I think somebody who worked with you on that film is now coming back to the area to do another film. Can you fill us in, kind of tease what's happening with that?
One of the co-stars on the film, his name was Adam Huss, and it was about this same time of the year that he was here from LA to film this movie. He has done some amazing things back in LA and worked on some major projects, and all of a sudden he texts me and says, I'm coming to Northwest Arkansas again to do another movie. And he's actually filming with Jenica Schwartzman today out in LA, who's also shot many movies here. So seeing all the interconnectedness that's happened in Northwest Arkansas over the last 15 years is, I mean, amazing.
It's such a tight-knit community. You know, you work with somebody on one thing and then their work, it just cross-pollinates so fast.
That's amazing. And it's so great to see that. You know, we started out this interview and you talked about how there wasn't a whole lot of film work happening in Northwest Arkansas. And now we're talking about people who are returning to Northwest Arkansas and the surrounding area just to make their movies. So I think, you know, you've been a part of this scene for a while, so you have a huge part in that. You also helped start what has now become the Fayetteville Film Fest, which is an entirely different interview we could do with you. But we're really appreciative of all of your efforts to kind of raise all ships here in Northwest Arkansas in the artistic community. So thanks for that. And Cassie, if people are curious about your career, they kind of want to follow along with what you're doing, where can they find you on social media? Do you have like an IMDb page? Where can we find you?
I do have an IMDb page. That's probably the best way. I'm not so on the socials much anymore. But I'm with the Linda Lehman Agency in Tulsa. I'm with the Actors Casting Agency in Northwest Arkansas. And yeah, and I'm around.
In and
places.
around. Yeah, it's always such a delight to have you on the show. It's been a few years since you've been our guest on Later with Jason Suel, so thanks for taking the time to hop on a Zoom call with us and just kind of like fill us in on what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Stay with us, folks. We got more Later with Jason Suel coming up right after this.
Smith & Associates Real Estate is a proud sponsor of Later with Jason Suel. They're excited to be a part of the growth and continued success in Northwest Arkansas.
How can I keep myself up and away? You usually work so late. I just bide my time in the early morning light while you're sleeping in the sun, and I look for fun. It's not fun. I long to be by your side. Oh, but how can I when we're all time? We're so all time. We're all time. It won't be long till I take off completely into my dreams so sweetly. You come into my room, in my dreams you're sleeping next to me. Oh, but how can I keep myself from falling asleep while you're gone, while you're gone? Well, I guess I could write you a song just before I we often only come to discover once it grows far too late. When we find we must part ways, oh, we must go alone on our separate paths in the night, in the night. We take off completely into our dreams so sweetly. We must follow our hearts, knowing that we may not meet again. Only in my dreams may we meet again.
Welcome back, everybody. Later with Jason Suel. So glad that you are tuned in. We're coming to you from Pinpoint in Fayetteville on this very special Halloween-themed episode. Bo, this is your bar.
Yeah.
This is your season.
It is. I'm alive.
What are you putting together? You're doing some amazing cocktails down here.
So this month we've been doing all sorts of crazy, spooky cocktails.
Yeah.
You know, this one was called Here for the Booze. I'm not gonna make that one because it's pretty complicated.
But it looks cool. Look at
It's
it.
super cool. We've got ones that are in IV bags. We got ones in crystal skulls. We've got ones in jack-o'-lanterns. It's really, really cool. But I'm gonna make one today that's on our kind of cold weather menu that you guys can make at home. It's super simple. Anybody can do it. And it's called our Devil Insider, named after the movie Devil Inside.
Totally makes sense. I love
Of course.
it. Yeah.
And we're gonna start with a really cool little cauldron mug that we
Nice.
have. Please don't steal these if you come to our bar. And you know, since it is fall, you get all this fun fall flavors, harvest. Apple brandy.
Okay.
Laird's Applejack makes a really good apple brandy. You just want to have 2 good healthy ounces.
Good healthy ounces. Let's put it like that.
In your cauldron. And then you want to get, I've already got some warm cider that I heated up in my hot pot down here. So I'm going to just give a couple of good pumps of that, top it off. And the real magic is the bitters. So a lot of people go, ooh, bitters, that doesn't sound good. But bitters are kind of like the salt and pepper of cocktails. So I've got really cool clove bitters from Infuse, and it doesn't take much, but it's just gonna bring all those holiday like smells and flavors. It's just gonna wake up that drink. And you know, clove just smells like fall.
Totally does. I can even get a whiff of that right now from this far away.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Give it a little stir with your bar spoon, and then I'm gonna top with a dried apple crisp.
Boom.
You're gonna put that in there, and as like it starts to absorb all that water, it's gonna let off all the more apple aroma, and it's just a really fun, warm kind of, as it cools off, things get Halloween. Like it's great. It's perfect.
Yeah. So for our viewers at home, maybe who are like, man, I don't have all the fancy things. It's pretty simple what you just said. Say it again, what people need to know
So
to put in that
easy.
drink.
So easy. You just need apple brandy,
Yeah.
apple cider, some clove bitters. If you don't have clove bitters, you could maybe throw some whole cloves in your apple cider as you're heating it up on the
like that.
stove, and it'll unlock all those clove flavors. And I mean, get whole cloves, don't get ground cloves, because then you're going to be like, pip, 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 pip. And that's no fun. And then apple crisp, you can make them at home in a dehydrator, or you can just buy them at your grocery store in the bag. I mean, they come in like all kinds of flavors.
Man,
So, yeah.
that sounds awesome. You guys are always doing some amazing cocktails here at Pinpoint. For people who don't know, haven't been to the bar yet, but where are you located, and how are you approaching social distancing protocols and things here?
So
at the bar?
things are a little different here
Right.
now. Everything's super safe and socially distanced. We take it really seriously here. So we've got booth dividers. It's table service, just like a restaurant. We try to be very, very aware of everybody's needs and everybody's special, like, just state of mind. When you come to here to have fun, we want you to not worry about it. So we take all those extra precautions so people can have fun, but seating is limited. So be prepared to wait a little while if you want to come have a really good time.
Yeah, that's great. And there's no reservations, right? People just show up.
It's first come, first serve, because people always cancel reservations. And when seating is limited, small businesses really need those tables. So, you know, if you do go out to a restaurant and you are making those reservations, please honor them. You know I speak from a lot of small business owners when, you know, you're on a busy Friday or Saturday night, you've got 3 reserved tables and a line out the door, and half those tables don't show up. You know, it's really important to stick to those. So we're first come, first serve.
Yep.
And especially this season, it's been nuts.
Yeah, it's super fun here, Bo. And even as we get further into the fall, as we get into the Christmas season, I'm sure that you're going to continue to follow those safety protocols and just have a fun time here at Pinpoint on Block in Fayetteville. You got to check it out. Let's get a cheers going on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sure. Cheers. Stay with us. We got more happening later. Yeah, folks, thanks for tuning in later with Jason Suel. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms. Send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. And before we leave, we've got to thank our amazing guest, Bo. Thank you.
Oh, I guess I kind of was a guest, wasn't I?
Yes.
It was awesome having you guys down here. I mean, what better place to do
This
a
is an
Halloween
awesome
episode?
place. Absolutely.
But we also want to thank Cassie Self for joining us on the show. Awesome talking to her.
Absolutely. We got to thank Patty Steele and Sarah Lothan for that amazing music video. And then my great friends over in Eureka Springs at Bike Eureka. Thanks for joining us on the show as well. That's our show. See you later, alligator.
After a while, Crocodile.
Let's do some skee ball.